Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping into a really twisty one, The Dark Eyes of London. It features Larry Holt.
Yeah, it's a classic mystery. And our goal today is really to pull out let's say, the juiciest bits for you.
Exactly. We want to focus on those moments that make you go, hold on, and really get into the heart of this unfolding puzzle.
We've sort of sifted through it all to bring you the core mystery, the big surprises, and what's really driving the characters.
Think of it as your guide through the shadows of this story.
So let's set the scene. It starts in Paris, interestingly enough.
Right, Paris. Our guy, Larry Holt, he runs into someone he knows, this rather colorful character called Flash Fred.
Seems pretty random at first, doesn't it? Just an encounter abroad.
Totally. But this meeting, it's actually the trigger for everything. It connects back to a death way over in London.
A man named Gordon Stuart,
Yeah.
wealthy Canadian, found dead.
And Larry just happens upon a newspaper report about it while he's in Paris.
Yeah, the report says Stuart's body was found on the Thames embankment. Official verdict: suicide.
But Larry, well, he's not buying it. Suicide. Between the acts of a play.
His reaction is great. He basically says, who does that unless the play is truly, truly awful?
Huh. Yeah. And that initial skepticism, that refusal to just accept the simple answer, that's what kicks the whole thing off.
It's a great point about investigation, really. Always question the obvious. Look for those little things that don't quite fit.
And there are definitely things that don't fit here. The details are odd.
Very odd, like his body being found with his legs in the rising tide. Why?
Exactly. And then there's his watch chain, gold and platinum, apparently, but it's missing a little pencil it usually had.
Plus, no rings. And apparently Stuart always wore rings.
Little details, but they add up, don't they? They paint a picture that isn't quite suicide.
Not at all. And then comes the strangest clue of all.
Oh, yeah. Get this. Inside his shirt, there's a message.
Written in Braille.
Braille. You know, the tactile writing system for the visually impaired. Just bizarre.
And the message itself is simple. Just 2 words.
Yeah.
Dear Diana.
Which, naturally, leads us to Diana. Diana Ward, Larry's secretary.
And talk about lucky breaks for the investigation. Diana knows Braille.
So she translates it right away. Dear Diana.
And just like that, she's pulled right into the middle of this case. It's not just Larry's investigation anymore.
No, they become partners pretty quickly, don't they? There's this instant trust, this shared goal.
Definitely. Their dynamic shifts. Okay, so, Dear Diana. What does it mean? The investigation digs deeper into Stuart's life.
And they find out he used to visit this old Saxon church out in Kent quite regularly.
A specific church, yeah.
Yeah.
Seems a bit random, but why was he going there so often?
Well, it turns out that's where his wife, Margaret Stuart, is buried. She died way back in 1909.
Along with their daughter Jean, died the same year. So, a past tragedy there.
Right. Which makes you wonder, who is this Clarissa that pops up later in connection with Stuart?
Exactly. If his wife and daughter died years ago, is Clarissa maybe the Diana from the message? Or someone else entirely? Big questions.
Lots of questions. Now let's circle back to Flash Fred, the guy Larry met in Paris.
He turns up in London, and, kind of indirectly, through another shady character called Strauss.
Right, Strauss mentions Fred knows a Dr. Judd.
And Dr. Judd. He runs the Greenwich Insurance Company.
Ah, the insurance angle. And guess who had a very large life insurance policy with that company?
Gordon Stuart. Suddenly, suicide looks even less likely, doesn't it? There's a potential motive.
Yeah.
Money.
A lot of money, presumably. And Dr. Judd was also at that same place Stuart attended right before he died.
Coincidence? Maybe. But it's starting to feel like more than that.
Things get even more serious now. There's a break-in. At Scotland Yard, no less.
Scotland Yard. That's bold. And what gets stolen?
The Braille message. The original piece of evidence taken from Stuart's shirt.
Wow. Okay, so someone really doesn't want that message looked at too closely. They're desperate.
Desperate and dangerous, because right after that, someone tries to kidnap Diana Ward.
Things are escalating fast. They try to grab Diana, and then the person who did the Scotland Yard burglary, a woman named Fanny Weldon.
Fanny Weldon, yeah, kind of a pawn in all this, it seems. She gets attacked, too.
So whoever is behind this is cleaning up loose ends, silencing anyone who knows too much. Ruthless.
And remember Flash Fred. Those diamond sleeve links he pawned, they get stolen, too.
Suggesting they're important somehow. Maybe evidence, maybe valuable in their own right to, to whoever's pulling the strings.
The investigation then leads Larry into a pretty violent encounter.
With a guy called Blind Jake, who, despite the name, is incredibly strong.
Yeah, Larry has a rough time with him. And this encounter points them towards a place called Todd's Home for the Blind.
Which sounds charitable, but the description makes it seem more like well, a dodgy place. A superior DOS house, as the book puts it. Attracts some unsavory types.
Definitely shady. And then the absolute worst happens. Diana disappears.
Vanishes from a dormitory in a building that's connected to Todd's home.
So now it's incredibly personal for Larry. He has to find her.
And while searching, they make this chilling discovery about another resident at the home, a man named Lou.
He's been deliberately deafened, muted somehow.
Presumably so. He can't testify about something he overheard. It just shows the lengths these people will go to. Sheer brutality.
So Todd's home is clearly central to this. And remember the attempt to grab Diana.
Yes, there's a van seen outside her flat.
A laundry van. And guess what they find in the yard connected to Todd's home?
Let me guess.
A van.
A newly painted van. But underneath the fresh paint, you can just make out the faint impression of the word laundry.
Ah, the connection. So the abduction attempt is directly linked to Todd's home.
And who runs Todd's home and the laundry next door? A superintendent named John Dearborn.
Who presents himself as blind.
But Diana starts to get suspicious. She doesn't think he's really blind. Another layer of deception.
It just keeps piling up. Now, back to the money trail. Dr. Judd, the insurance guy.
Right. He eventually admits the insurance money for Stuart was paid out.
To whom? To a Clarissa Stuart. And he shows them the receipt. Signed, Clarissa Stuart.
And Diana sees the name and faints. Just collapses.
Huge reaction. Clearly, Clarissa Stuart means something profound, something deeply personal to her.
This is a massive turning point, isn't it? It confirms Clarissa's real, or at least the name is real enough to get a payout and provoke that reaction from Diana.
Meanwhile, Diana's doubt about John Dearborn's blindness grows, especially when they find out he's a director of the company producing his plays.
His terrible, unsuccessful plays, right?
Exactly. So why is he involved financially? Is it just ego, or is there some hidden money angle there too?
It definitely suggests something's off, something hidden. And then, just when you think things can't get more intense.
Flash Fred turns up again, but this time he's badly hurt, attacked, found right outside Larry's flat.
He manages to talk before passing out, though.
Just enough. He reveals his connection to Dr. Judd and, wait for it, Dr. Judd's brother, David.
A brother. Okay.
And Fred says he saw David shoot someone, kill someone, back in Montpelier years ago.
Whoa. So a history of violence.
And, crucially, Fred saw Blind Jake the strongman together with Dr. Judd recently. He overheard them planning something sinister.
So Jake works for Judd. This confirms the link between the physical threat and the insurance scheme. It's all one operation.
Fred's story basically blows the lid off the Judd brothers' criminal past. It leads Larry to investigate a house connected to them.
And he finds something truly horrifying inside.
A room. A concrete, soundproof room. Tubular, it's described as. With a heavy steel bolt on the outside.
Oh no, don't tell me.
Diana, she's disappeared into that room. She's trapped.
And the room. It's not just a prison, is it?
No. It's a death trap. It starts filling with water.
Oh my God. That's terrifying.
Absolutely. And this is where the full, monstrous scope of the Judd's plan comes out. Dr. Judd finally confesses.
What does he say?
He admits his brother, David Judd, the one Flash Fred saw commit murder, wasn't dead after all.
He faked his death.
Yes. And took on a new identity. John Dearborn.
The blind superintendent of Todd's home.
It was all an incredibly elaborate insurance scam. They faked deaths probably multiple times to collect massive payouts.
And the terrible plays Dearborn wrote.
Not just vanity, a way for David Dearborn to express his ego, maybe, but also likely a way to launder the insurance money.
Through the theater that Dr. Judd owned.
The McCready Theater, exactly.
Yeah.
It all connects. The money, the fake identities, the violence.
Diana. She's still trapped in that flooding room.
She is. But she's incredibly brave,
Right.
resourceful. Even with the water rising, she's thinking, trying to buy time.
Wow.
She actually tries to play on Dearborn's vanity, talking to him, distracting him, while desperately looking for any way out.
Amazing courage under pressure.
Totally. Her actions ultimately give Larry the chance he needs to rescue her, leading to the final showdown with the Judd brothers.
And the final twist. The biggest secret of all.
It comes from Diana herself, after everything.
What is it? Who is Clarissa Stuart?
Diana reveals. She is Clarissa Stuart. That's her birth name. The woman Gordon Stuart married wasn't the original Clarissa Stuart. It was Diana's aunt, Emma Ward.
Her aunt. And she married Stuart.
Yes. And Emma deliberately never registered Diana's birth. Kept her identity, her existence as Clarissa Stuart, completely secret.
To hide her claim to
Oh,
an inheritance.
presumably. A secret that suddenly became lethally dangerous when Stuart died, and the name Clarissa Stuart surfaced with the insurance.
Wow, what a reveal. It ties everything together. The name, Diana's reaction, the reason someone might want her silenced. It's about her identity.
So when we look back at the dark eyes of London, it's just this incredible web, isn't it? Deceit, murder, stolen identities, all driven by greed.
Absolutely. What seems like random events, a chance meeting in Paris, a weird death, a break-in, it's all orchestrated. It really hammers home how vital observation is. Larry and Diana succeeded because they looked closer.
And the surprising facts just keep coming. The blind man who wasn't blind,
The dead man who wasn't dead.
and the heiress, Clarissa Diana, hidden in plain sight all along.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Leaves you with this lingering question.
Yeah, what's that?
Well, it makes you wonder.
Yeah.
How many seemingly ordinary situations in our own lives might have hidden depths, hidden dangers even, just waiting beneath the surface if we only knew how or where to look?